This week on ZTV Sports Report, we recap opening night for our Akron basketball teams, we take a look at the meaning of the wagon wheel, and we see who students think is Akron's biggest rival. All that and more on the ZTV Sports Report, which starts right now. Welcome to the ZTV Sports Report, your home for everything Akron Zips athletics. I'm the one and only Sartaj Ojala. James A. Rhodes Arena was certainly a main attraction this past Friday night when basketball season tipped off officially for our men's and women's teams. With a successful season both under their belt, both teams look to start off the season on a high note. Let's take a look at what happened when Florida Atlantic tried to ruin our Lady Zips season opener. Women's basketball would enter James A. Rhodes Arena looking to continue their success they found last season and face a tough Florida Atlantic team. Unfortunately, the Zips would lose Senna King for the entire year due to injury, but she was still there to support her team. Florida Atlantic would come out aggressive and find the game's first points, but the Zips would answer right back when Rachel Tecca knocked down an easy jumper to tie the game. Akron struggled early from defending beyond the arc, and Jody Kess would certainly not be happy and would try to have her team adjust. Casey Castle would easily find Tecca for the easy layup to cut the Owls' lead and providing energy for the Zips. Hannah Luberg would certainly ride the momentum and knock down an easy three and drew the foul for the 4-point play. Senna King watching on as the Zips would capitalize on a descending Owls offense, and Rachel Tecca would close out the game with an easy layup to dash any hopes of a Florida Atlantic comeback. The Zips win this one 98-69. Rachel Tecca had a monumental game, putting up 36 points, 12 rebounds, and 3 steals. Hannah Luberg and Carly Young also posted double-doubles in the contest. Head coach Jody Kess was certainly pleased with their team's performance in the opener.
Really pleased. I thought it was a great team effort. We had 5 players in double figures. We got exactly what we expected from Rachel Tecca, the reigning player of the year in the MAC. 36 points, career high, 12 rebounds. We had 5 players in double figures. Did a great job of being aggressive. We wanted to get to the free throw line. That was huge. We went to the line 39 times to their 5. I thought we shared the ball. Defensively, probably not one of our best efforts, something we need to work on. But offensively, I thought we did a great job. Casey was a little slow in the beginning, but I thought second half she picked it up. Florida Atlantic was very quick, very athletic, and we want to take advantage of the lack of size. And I think when 25 got in foul trouble, we really wanted to get the ball inside to Rachel, and just really pleased, with the effort for the first game.
Our men's basketball team certainly had a storied season last year, winning the MAC title and got an entry into the NCAA tournament. The Zips lost many key players last season, and many doubted would they still be the strong powerhouse that they were last season. The Zips looked to prove that they were still a force to be reckoned with at James A. Rhodes Arena. James A. Rhodes Arena was filled to the brim with fans anxious for the start of another season, and watch as the Zips were honored with MAC championship rings. Coastal Carolina was determined to rain on the Zips parade, and after missing all of last year, Quincy Diggs would strike first for the game's first points. Coach Keith Dambrot would try to keep the momentum going for his team, and Quincy Diggs would certainly keep the momentum going with an easy steal and easy layup for the early 4-point lead. Coastal Carolina would respond with buckets of their own, but Akron would not let down as Pat Forsythe would pierce through the Chanticleer's defense for the easy hook shot. The Zips defense would certainly cause problems for the opposing team, and Demetrius Treadwell would find Harney for a fast break and easy 2 points. Treadwell would fire up the crowd as they were on their feet and ready to get back in for the Zips. Coastal Carolina would find a couple breaks and inch closer to a Zips lead from beyond the arc and would find some key defensive pressure on the Zips offense. However, the Chanticleer's resolve would be for nothing as the Zips would not falter in their determination to start the season on a high note. The Zips win this one 72-63. Demetrius Treadwell will finish with 13 points, 8 rebounds, and a block, while Quincy Diggs performed well on his return to James A. Rhodes Arena, posting 14 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 steals. Head coach Keith Dambrot would express that there is more the Zips can improve upon after the matchup.
Well, we were erratic, but showed signs of being good, but very erratic, typical of my teams early in the year. And we'll get better.
We wanted to start the season off the right way, and hopefully we can continue progression from here.
I really couldn't tell how I was going to play against last week. This week was a good test for me to see where I was, and I think I need to improve. I had too many turnovers, but I think I can get better soon. So today was a good test for me to see where I was, and I know where I am now.
I think, and I could be wrong, I think we'll get nothing but better and better and better. I could be wrong.
Our women's basketball team certainly has made a lot of impact in the MAC. However, the seniors on the team are a huge part of that success. Our very own Kalana Davis highlights these seniors.
The Akron Zips women's basketball team has 5 of the most awarded seniors in the MAC. And even though some of them are going into their official last playing year, these women have been playing like it's their last year ever since they got here. With the 2013-2014 season already underway, these Lady Zips are ready to take over the MAC. Starting off, we have number 3, Casey Castle. First in the nation with assists per game, ending the season averaging 7.8 assists. Number 14, Hannah Luberg. Second record holder in Akron in field goals, totaling 201 last season and 9 20-plus point games. Number 32, Rachel Tecca. First Akron women's player to receive MAC Player of the Year. Tecca also was the leading scorer for the season, averaging 18.5 points. Number 35, Carly Young. Academic All-MAC Honorable Mention player, playing 33 games, bringing the Zips her amazing three-point form to the court every game. And lastly, number 42, Senna King, whom sadly isn't joining the Lady Zips this season due to medical conditions, but King still helped the Zips last season win the East title with a team high of 14 double-doubles and also achieving her 1,000th career point. With the MAC title in mind, the Lady Zips are breaking through. For the ZTV Sports Report, I'm Kalana Davis.
That's one segment in the books, but don't worry, we still have a lot more in the game plan, so don't you go anywhere. You are watching the ZTV Sports Report. We'll be right back.
Keep up with us online by liking the ZTV Sports Report Facebook page, follow us on Twitter at ZTV Sports, and subscribe to our YouTube page for our latest videos. The ZTV Sports Report is a production of ZTV and the School of Communication at the University of Akron. If you want to learn how to make award-winning TV programs, contact the School of Communications at 330-972-7600. If you have questions about ZTV programs, email us or visit us online.
Hi, I'm Tom Wistersell, the Athletic Director here at the University of Akron. You're watching the ZTV Sports Report.
Welcome to this special edition of the Zips Trivia. Today we will check what the University of Akron student athletes know about sports. What company's logo is called the swoosh?
Nike.
That would be Nike.
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 Who did Spain defeat in the UEFA 2008 Euro Cup?
America?
I don't know. England?
No answer. No say.
Germany.
Who won the US Open women's title in 2013 in tennis?
Serena Williams.
Serena, I think.
Serena Williams.
Women's golf?
Ukraine.
What sport used the term home run long before baseball?
I have no idea.
Got you on that one.
Cricket. Soccer.
How many gold medals did Michael Phelps win at the 2008 Olympic Games?
Is it 7 or 8?
I think it was 3.
8.
8. I want to say like 4 or 5.
Oh, come on, he's better than that.
10. 9.
Who is the current heavyweight champion in world boxing?
I don't even know any heavyweight boxers' names now, so.
He's from my country.
From your country. Vladimir Klitschko?
I have no idea. James Toney?
Mike Tyson.
Well, we're done for today. For the ZTV Sports Report, Ksenia Berestecka.
Welcome back to the ZTV Sports Report, your home for Akron Zips Athletics. We highlighted our basketball team's performance in their openers, but let us see where they stand in the Mid-American Conference with Quick Zip with Kalana Davis.
Thanks, Sartosh, and welcome again to Quick Zip, the part of the show where we find out how our Akron Zips are matching up in the Mid-American Conference. I'm still your host, Kalana Davis, and let's get into the action. Flipping over the coin of football, Buffalo is in the lead in the East, with Bowling Green stepping up right behind them in second. We gladly see that our Zips have moved up again, now sitting at 4th place with their 2-4 conference record and their 3-7 overall record after beating rival Kent State last game. Crossing the field over to men's soccer, our Zips are still wearing the regular season MAC title crown after beating Western Michigan this past weekend. The team right now sits nationally ranked at number 9, ending their regular season with a 5-1 conference record and a 14-3-1 overall record. Tipping off to basketball, the men's team is starting off in first place in the East right now with a 1-0 record after winning a great game this past weekend against Coastal Carolina. And also looking at the women's basketball team, our Lady Zips are sitting in second place in the East right under the Bowling Green Falcons. Speaking of women's basketball, after watching their amazing season opener this past weekend, we decided to give this week's game ball to Rachel Tecca, who helped the Lady Zips take over against Florida Atlantic. Tecca ended the game with career-high 36 points along with 12 rebounds, and keeping it with the women's game, Hannah Luberg deserves this play of the week with her 4-point play as she went for a 3 and drew in the foul as well. Luberg ended the game with 22 points and joined Tecca with 12 rebounds. Looking at the basketball bench this year, people may notice a few people are missing. And one of those players happened to be Brian Walsh. Our host, Sartaj, had a chance to catch up with him as Walsh moves from the court to the coaching staff.
Yeah, we're different. I mean, are we going to miss the Zeke Marshalls and the Alex Abreus and the Chauncey Gilliams and Brian Walsh? Yes, but that's no excuse.
Men's basketball has certainly lost many key players. However, Brian Walsh still remains on the team, not as a player, but as a graduate assistant, and he realizes the difference.
Well, obviously the biggest difference is not playing anymore, just sitting on the sidelines and coaching. But I'd say that is probably the biggest. The other thing is, you can see a lot more now that I'm coaching. I'm watching a lot more than instead of being in there and playing. I'm able to, see plays and see how they develop more now than I have as a player.
Since arriving on campus, Walsh never thought he would coach in the future, and since becoming an assistant, he definitely has a great staff to learn from.
I figured I was going to go play overseas or maybe get into business. I just, I have the love for the game, and I fell in love with coaching. I just want to pursue it. I really look up to Coach D and his hard work and his work ethic, being a basketball coach, and that's what I want to do. And I couldn't think of a better person to learn from him and the rest of the staff here.
Walsh already has a great repertoire with his teammates, and this has certainly helped him begin his coaching experience.
Good relationships with all the guys, even the freshmen. I helped bring them in, recruiting them. So I got good relationships with all of them. Sometimes they give me a hard time, but I still get to practice with them, so I can still go out there and give them a bucket or two.
Walsh has certainly shown his desire to coach, and he also knows what he must do this season as a graduate assistant.
Anything that better the program, help us take the next step and win a couple games in the NCAA tournament, and basically just develop our young guys who are maturing and getting ready this season.
Walsh knows what it is like to play basketball, and now he begins his new path to know what it is like to coach it. With this experience, Brian looks to expand his overall knowledge of the game. For the ZTV Sports Report, I'm Sartaj Ojala.
Well, sadly, this wraps it up for me in this edition of Quick Sip. But the show's not over yet. We toss it back over to our host, Sartaj, for more of the ZTV Sports Report.
Akron football was victorious over rival Kent State and was able to bring the Wagon Wheel back to Akron. What is the Wagon Wheel, you ask? Well, Hunter Lang highlights the Wagon Wheel's history and the importance of the Akron-Kent rivalry.
The thing that makes the Akron-Kent rivalry unique is rather than having state against state or graduate against graduate, it literally is neighbors and families. People that live here in the Akron area, oftentimes their neighbor went to Kent and maybe their brother or sister went to Kent. And so to have that type of proximity with the schools so close, it makes it really special. And it is truly a heated rivalry that has a huge impact on this region.
With Akron coming up short in the first 2 years of the Wagon Wheel Challenge, it's clear how valuable a win over Kent really is.
Means everything. And Coach Bowden's done a great job with our program. We've been on this upward trajectory, and this would really verify the plan and how well it's working.
After catching up with Joel Nielsen, Kent State's athletic director, it was clear how much this rivalry really means.
It really has an intensity unlike any of the other MAC games or any of the other regional games that we play. Something that we don't want to give up. It's been here for 2 years. We've only had the challenge for 2 years. And it's important to us. As I said, we talk a lot about it, and it's a sense of pride for us. And it's been very close both years. I think it's went down to the last weekend or the last 2 weekends of the year. And I feel a little bit for those spring sports because the pressure comes to them you know, and those last couple weekends, and it's been exciting. I think last year it came down to baseball maybe that last weekend, or the outdoor tracks. And I know those coaches walk around here talking about it, that they've got the weight of the department and the weight of the university on their shoulders.
We have to go to break, but do not fret. We will still be here when the commercials are done. We still have another edition of Match Point and see who UA students think is Akron's biggest rival. You are watching the ZTV Sports Report. We'll be right back.
Keep up with us online by liking the ZTV Sports Report Facebook page, follow us on Twitter @ZTV Sports, and subscribe to our YouTube page for our latest videos.
Hi, I'm Coach Dambrot, and you're watching the ZTV Sports Report.
Here's a look at some behind-the-scenes footage from the ZTV Sports Report.
Right now I am working on the script for studio, the script that I read. Right now I'm working on the men's basketball highlight over their win over Coastal Carolina. But yeah, working on that right now. Also I am keeping track with my fantasy football team.
Right now I'm getting the prompter ready, trying to bring it up. It's kind of like Avid where we have the problems. What's up?
Getting ready to set up Match Point. We'll key the green screen here to get them the right background they need. And typically with them, we usually use V1 and V2. V1 will be on Parker and Hunter, and then V2 with the different background will be on Jeannie.
Behind the scenes right now?
Yep.
We're not in front of the scenes.
Oh. Well,
so we know that's...
What are you doing, Kalana?
I'm getting ready for the show. With the women's game, Hannah Luberg deserves this play of the week with her 4-point play, as she went for a 3 and drew on the foul as well. Luberg ended the game with 22 points and joined Tecca with 12 rebounds. Looking at the basketball bench this year, people may notice that a few players are missing, and one of those players just happens to be Brian Walsh.
You just do the Mike Hunter one.
Sadly, no.
Oh, man. Okay. Coastal Carolina will respond with buckets of their own. I need to set up. Oh, it's recording. Hi. See, I told you we'll be back. Welcome back to the ZTV Sports Report. Here at ZTV, we have many programs for you to enjoy. You are watching the ZTV Sports Report, which is on daily at 3 o'clock and 8:30. Watch Akron After Hours for hilarious sketch comedy daily at 3:30 and 9. Goofing Off has all the coverage on geek pop culture for you, and you can watch it daily at 4 and 9:30. Lights Camera Akron provides you with the latest on UA news, and you can be up to date daily at 2:30 and 8. In our first segment, we highlighted the great opening day for both basketball for men's and women's. This week on Match Point, Parker Smith and Hunter Lang analyze more on the Zips' performance, and Jeannie McBride guides their discussion.
Hello and welcome to the latest edition of Match Point. I'm your host, Jeannie McBride. Alongside me today are ZTV Sports analysts Parker Smith and Hunter Lang. Boys, the topic of the day is Zips men's basketball. Who do you guys think needs to step up this season to replace the leadership and production from players like Zeke Marshall and Brian Walsh?
You know, people are going to say that Demetrius Treadwell, or Tree, is the man that needs to take a leadership role this season. But I'm looking at senior Nick Carney to make a major impact. The 6'8 senior has been a key contributor off the bench for the Zips his whole career. And now in his final season wearing the blue and gold, he's going to be a leader in minutes played. With how deep Akron is from top to bottom, it shouldn't be expected for Harney to explode in points, but I do expect him to be at or near the top in rebounds, steals, blocks, and points. Harney has shown in the past that he has the ability to stretch the defense and knock down the big shots. So I think when teams try to key in on Quincy Diggs and Tree, there could be some open room for Harney to attack and score the basketball. Also, you need to look at how he needs to take a leadership role and help mentor the vast amount of young talent that this roster has. With 4 freshmen over 6 feet 6 inches tall, Harney can have a major impact on showing the young guys how to use their size effectively at the D1 level.
Yeah, and when I think of someone who needs to step up for the Zips, I first think of Pat Forsyth. Forsyth is a guy who the Zips won't lean on too often for a great deal of offense, but he must be a defensive stopper in the paint. With his 6', 11-inch frame, he can be a guy who adds the intimidation factor that can help the defense immensely. Offensively, the Zips seem to be headed in the right direction with sharpshooters like Reggie McAdams and Jake Kretzer, but defensively, Pat Forsyth must be a presence down low. When you think of Zeke Marshall and all he brought to the Zips, averaging 3-point blocks per game last season, that is where the Zips may be vulnerable. And this is where a guy like Pat Forsyth can be a big difference maker. If he is able to provide the same sort of presence that Zeke provided, Forsyth can be a major factor for the Zips.
You both make a compelling case. And here I think that Parker will take the victory. Harney, being in his last season with the Zips, has to be the anchor for the team on and off the court. And that is all the time we have for on this week's edition of Match Point.
Thanks, guys. All the teams in the Mid-American Conference compete with each other at a high level, even to the point of forming intense rivalries. Jeannie McBride goes onto the field to see who fans think is Akron's biggest rival in the MAC.
After Akron's win on Saturday against Kent State to get back the wagon wheel, we ask Akron students who they think the Zips' biggest rivals are. All right, so who do you think Akron's biggest rivals are?
Kent State and OU.
I'm definitely going to have to say Kent State. And aside of that, I mean, other MAC competitors, like Bowling Green and Miami of Ohio, but mainly just Kent State.
All right, so do you think it's in all sports, or who do you think the biggest rival for like soccer would be?
I believe Ohio State, Penn State.
I think it's Kent.
Probably Kent State.
Probably Miami.
Who do you think Akron's biggest rival is in basketball?
Ohio U.
Okay, what about football?
Difficult one. Well, since we beat Kent, let's choose Kent.
Kent State, Ohio State, BG, and Ohio.
So who's your favorite Akron men's basketball player?
It's got to be Tree. He has the coolest socks around.
Quincy Diggs.
Pat Forsyth.
Unfortunately, that is it for us here at the ZTV Sports Report, but make sure you tune in to our next show, which is our live Best of show. We'll take a look at all of our best moments that occurred this semester, and we highlight the latest on our men's and women's basketball teams. On behalf of everyone here at the ZTV Sports Report family, I'm Sartaj Ojala. Thank you for watching the ZTV Sports Report. Have a safe day.
This program was produced by ZTV at the University of Akron. To find out how you can make Emmy-winning media, visit the UA School of Communication online. ZTV. Make media. Make a difference.